Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes 2013. With bowl eligibility on the line, the Syracuse Orange are down to their final drive against the Boston College Eagles. Terrell Hunt leads the Orange downfield in a typical 2-minute drill against the Eagles. With 12 seconds left and at the Boston College 8-yard line, they go to a play from the past. Because 15 years earlier, a similar play when the Orange played against Virginia Tech, when the Orange were led by Donovan McNabb, worked on the game's final play. Well, this time, Terrell Hunt decides to take a page from that book and throw back across the field to the tight end, who scampers into the end zone to give the Orange an improbable 34-31 victory. Well, so much for my imitation of the good old late Harry Callis. But you know, those brought back a lot of memories, so I decided to do it the Alcoa way, 'cause you know, Alcoa can't wait. But you know something? That was really something, Orange fans. Thanksgiving week was a week to give thanks for the Orange's great play on two fronts. And I mean, yeah, great play on two fronts indeed. What a drive that was by Terrell Hunt, who showed he could master the 2-minute drill as any great Orange quarterback could. And everybody remembers what Donovan McNabb did all those years ago against Virginia Tech. Well, he threw back across to Paris, and guess what, Orange? We're bowl eligible. But now this is where the fun starts. Where are we gonna go bowling? Because the thing is, there's several scenarios here. And of course they say the Orange are like one of 4 teams battling for 3 spots. A lot of projections have us going to New Year's Day to the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Because you know, that would be the heart of Orange fans, if you know what I mean. That bowl game is in the old Cotton Bowl Stadium. And our projected opponent would either be North Texas or Rice. And you know, those two would have a big contingent if it's in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. North Texas, because Dallas is kind of in North Texas. And what a nickname, the Mean Green. Well, you know, I think Joe Green was part of North Texas. So wily it could be called Mean Green. Of course, Rice is the Owls. And Rice is definitely one football team where, I mean, academics kind of hurts their recruiting. But it's pretty good to see a good old university from Houston that takes pride in their academic standing do good on the football field. Other scenarios have us probably going to Detroit for the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. And our probable opponent would be probably the MAC runner-up. And it's projected to be probably Bowling Green, who's the alma mater of someone I went to school with way back when. But you know, to get to the point, the Orange are 6-6 in Scott Shaper's first season, and you know what? I think they stuck right to what they were gonna do. That was my thoughts. The Orange would probably finish 6-6 their first year in the ACC. So guess what? We're pretty much right on track. And it could be a harbinger of things to come. Something the Orange football team can build on. Now let's wait till after this Sunday and see if we're gonna go bowling. And how about the other big Orange thing last week? The great victory by the basketball team out there in Maui. What a run we took through the field. First, we took care of some wily rodents, the Golden Gophers. And then we went on to play the Golden Bears. Is something platinum about that? I don't know. But we took care of a pretty decent California team. Then we go from Golden Gophers to Golden Bears to guess what? Just plain old Bears. The Baylor Bears, to be exact. And Baylor is a pretty tough team this year in the Big 12. But Baylor couldn't handle Tyler Ennis, Trevor Cooney, and the Orange. as the Orange wind up winning the Maui Invitational for the third time. And it's something that we really can build on. This Orange team looked pretty shaky in their first few games this season, but many people probably are going to say they came of age out there in Hawaii. We got something to look forward to this week, the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and we play Indiana tonight in the Dome. And you know what? Those Hoosiers may be a little worse than they were last year, but those Hoosiers are still pretty tough. And while I'm on the subject of animals, I mean, we go from Golden Gophers to Golden Bears to Bears. Of course, we go to Hoosiers, and then we go to Bearcats. Binghamton is who we play on Saturday, and I kind of think the way the Bearcats have been the last couple of years, we probably may blow them right out of the Dome if we don't decide to play down to their level. I think that's what happened when we played St. Francis. We played down to their level, and we nearly got bitten. But you don't want to be bitten. Right now, the Orange are on a high, both football and basketball. So let's hope for a good bowl invitation, maybe to Dallas, and that we can keep rolling against Indiana and to Binghamton. Good job, Orange. Keep it rolling. But we go from a high to a low. Boy, we should have easily taken care of those Falcons up there in the mausoleum that is known as the Rogers Center, because guess what? We don't have a home field advantage up there in the Rogers Center. You kind of noticed the cheers were kind of equal for both the Falcons and the Bills. And in the last few minutes, the Bills had to throw the game away. A couple of very questionable penalties there on the drive where the Falcons tied the score. And as the Bills were driving down into field goal range, Steve Johnson has to make yet another blunder. It seems as though when the time comes for Johnson to make a play, he always fouls it up. He gets down to the Falcons' 30-yard line, he fumbles the ball. And then one of the first plays of overtime, normally sure-handed tight end Scott Chandler fumbles the ball. And guess what? The Falcons take the ball, go down, kick a field goal, and end Buffalo's playoff hopes for another season. It just shows that this team always seems to find a way to lose, and they're not quite there yet. Of course, who thought miracles were going to happen in Doug Marone's first season? Well, we're 4-8, licking our wounds. Of course, we got 2 winnable games coming up. Against Tampa Bay this coming Sunday, and then against Jacksonville the following Sunday, before we end the season against 2 of our AFC East rivals, Miami up in Ralph Wilson Stadium, and our good friends, Tom Brady in New England. But guess what? We're not going to have a winning season again, and we're not going to the playoffs again. Same old story for a team that can't put it together. And Mr. Johnson, this may be your last draw as a Bills player. But let's get back to Harry Callis, shall we say. Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 2013. Alabama drives down to try to kick a winning field goal on the final play there of this year's Iron Bowl. But after their veteran kicker missed 3 previous field goal attempts, they turned to their freshman kicker, who hadn't attempted a field goal all season. He attempts a 57-yard field goal that falls short, and that Auburn player takes it near the back of the end zone, gets several blocks, hugs the sideline, and takes it back for an improbable touchdown that gives Auburn an improbable 34-28 victory on the game's final play. Well, eat your heart out, Mr. Callis. That was another fantastic finish. Some are saying it's probably the greatest finish in college football history. Of course, they have to go some to beat the play that ended Cal and Stanford over 30 years ago. But I have to say, boy, The War Eagles ripped the heart out of the Roll Tide. Boy, I tell you what, that Auburn announcer probably has lost his voice the last three games. That improbable win against Georgia, where they performed the tip drill and the Auburn player catched it and scored. And that improbable victory against the Tide. What a turnaround Gus Malzahn has done in 1 year. Malzahn was an assistant coach for Auburn. He went to Arkansas State, brought them to respectability, comes back to Auburn, and in 1 year has them on the cusp of the national title. But I'm really talking about that finish. What a finish. There's probably a whole bunch of fans yelling, "War Eagle!" Boy, I'm not changing my tune, but you have to admit, that was a hell of a finish. And while I'm in the mood here, I'm going to close my show by talking about what's going on with all this labeling of days around Thanksgiving. We've got Thanksgiving Thursday. We got Black Friday. We got Small Business Saturday. We got Cyber Monday. And now today is called Giving Tuesday. Where is all this names coming from? When did we decide to name the days around Thanksgiving these nicknames? Why don't they go with Sliding Sunday or Something Sunday or Wiley Wednesday? Or I should say, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Whatever. What is with all these nicknames? Of course, you look at Black Friday and you see all those yutzes battling for all the bargains, fighting and even shooting to try to get their bargains. You know what? I stay away from the stores on Friday. I even stay away from the computers on Monday. You know what? They can have those. I'm just busy watching all the stupidness of it all. But I do have to say, it was pretty unique that Hanukkah started this year on Thanksgiving. That happens once in a lifetime. So, to all the Jewish people out there who celebrate one of their holiest holidays of the year, Mazel Tov. I'm Ken Haas, and that's my story for this week.